Arthur, does it help to have someone to talk to?
This movie is easily the best movie of 2019.
Excuse me, but have you seen Avengers Endgame? And have you seen Spider-Man Far From Home? And Shazam and Godzilla and John Wick 3 and...
Okay, I get it. We all have different opinions on which film we consider the best, but here is mine. Joker is an absolutely great movie and everything about it is absolutely beautiful. The visuals, the audio, the tone, the characters' body language and emotions, everything. Nowadays, when a lot of people watch films, we feel a lot of emotion throughout. When I watched Endgame, I felt a mixture of excitement and sadness and suspense, but this film right here literally made me feel one thing, and that was scared. Before I get into the whole scared thing, I kind of want to analyse the movie, so let's get into an analysis. Unfortunately, I don't have any movie clips since the movie is brand new. I'll only be using trailer clips and depending on what else I'm talking about, other clips too. Anyway, let's get into it. Every visual thing in this movie tells a story about Gotham and its people. From the piles of garbage on every street to the constant sight of graffiti in every location Arthur is in, tells a big story about the state of Gotham and the state of its residents. One thing I continuously noticed was the consistent red and blue colours in every interior. The hospital Arthur was in when his mother had a stroke was blue. The diner club where Arthur goes to do his first stand-up comedy is dimly lit in red colours. Murray Franklin's TV show curtains and backdrop consist of red and blue. The clothing of most of Gotham's residents consist of bland plain colours like grey, white and black, and red and blue. I believe the colours were giving a message to the audience because one thing I noticed was that both colours never appear in the same room or area. Both colours are always in separate areas. When you usually watch a film and there's a scene that's like indoors, the whole outdoors of the movie, the city, the people, it all stops. However, in Todd Phillips' film Joker, it doesn't.
Smile, though your heart is aching.
Throughout the film, the constant noise of sirens passing by and radio telling us stuff about the progression on the garbage strike and things we can't see off camera, things happening with Thomas Wayne and his progression through running for mayor. In my opinion, it's great that we can still follow other aspects of the storyline and the main story only in one scene. The background and the radio are telling multiple stories all into one scene. I've noticed that everybody except the people Arthur speaks to never communicate with each other. The residents of Gotham never interact with each other. The lack of communication tells us about Gotham and how separated Gotham is with its community. As well as the visuals and the audio, there is one thing that makes this movie the masterpiece that it is.
Murray, one small thing.
Yeah.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
I'm a fan of the way actors really get into their roles, and you can tell when an actor is really into their role because their acting actually affects you. When Spider-Man disappeared in Infinity War, people cried and many people were upset, and that's how you know Tom Holland put 100% of the effort into his role. And now I know this may seem like I'm shitting on Endgame, but I'm really not. When Robert Downey Jr.'s character Iron Man dies in Endgame, I didn't feel anything. No sadness, no tears, and not even that feeling in your stomach when you get sad. Like I said, in no way am I saying that Robert Downey Jr. did not put effort into his role as Iron Man, and in no way am I saying that the death of Tony Stark was not an emotional scene, because it brought a tear to many fans across the world, but to me, it just felt empty. As amazing as Endgame is, to me, I felt like I was just watching actors reading lines. But when I watched Joker, and I saw Joaquin Phoenix, I felt like I was watching this actual man turning more and more insane and society getting worse and worse. His facial expressions, his body language, it all adds to the amazing performance he gives. When Joaquin was on the talk show with Murray Franklin, the speech he gives and his body movements really convey someone who has been abandoned by society and treated like garbage. So I was coming across the internet and I found an audio clip of the Murray talk show incident. So I do want you guys to hear this, but I'm not going to show the video since it's copyrighted, so I am just going to have to play some bits of the trailer. I'm sorry because you guys have seen that a lot of times, but it's the best I can do.
You're awful, Murray.
Me? I'm awful? Oh yeah, how am I awful?
Playing my video. Inviting me on the show. You just wanted to make fun of me. You're just like the rest of them.
You don't know the first thing about me, pal. Look what happened because of what you did, what it led to. There were riots out there. 2 policemen are in critical condition. You're laughing. You're laughing. Someone was killed today because of what you did.
I know. How about another joke, Murray?
No, I think we've had enough of your jokes.
What do you get
I don't think so.
when you cross
I think
a
we're
mentally
done
ill
with your
loner
jokes.
with
That's
a
it.
society that abandons him and treats him like trash?
Call the police,
I'll
Gene.
tell you what you get.
Call the police.
Get what you fucking deserve.
The beauty of the acting in his voice as well as in his body movements, which unfortunately you couldn't see, I'm very sorry about that, but the audio itself just shows he's a brilliant actor. The voice whimpering, the breaking, the maniacal laughter. Of all the horror movies that I've ever watched, they only scared me for about 2-3 seconds through jump scares and, you know, horrifying imagery. But with this film, Joaquin's acting had me on the edge of my theatre seat with my stomach churning and my eyes gazed at this terrifying, insane man as he stands in front of this army while Gotham burns behind him. By now, we all know the infamous laugh of Arthur Fleck. I remember when the theatre first heard the laugh. Most of them were just laughing at it because, you know, it sounds stupid, doesn't it? However, as the movie progressed and Joker got darker and darker, you know, the laughing that he kept doing, a lot of people stopped actually laughing at it. More people were terrified at it because at this point Arthur became a terrifying sign of a man who lost it all. It became frightening to me. His laugh actually echoed in my mind as I watched the destruction of Gotham.
You don't listen, do you?
The reason I consider Joker a terrifying movie is because the situation that happens in Gotham and that happened to Arthur can happen to other people that can happen in this world. The story about how society would walk over Arthur if he was the one who was killed, which brings awareness to many people who suffer from mental illnesses and are outcasted in society. There may have been a lot of amazing movies this year and a lot of Oscar-worthy nominees, but the passion and heart put into the Joker movie is phenomenal and groundbreaking. And ending it off with the rating of the film, I rate this film 10 out of 10.